When I was about 10 or 11 years old, our family, we went on a trip across the country from Chicago area. We were headed to the Grand Canyon, and we were traveling in a 1966 International Harvester pickup truck, which at the time, it was really new. It was a four-door cab, so you could sit six people in if you want. My mom and dad had the back set up as kind of like a bed, and then we had a camper on the back. But when we were going through Colorado, we were up in the mountains, and there was a news thing one night. We heard about these college kids who had been camping, and I guess a bear came into their camp, and a couple of them were able to wake up in time and climb up into a tree, but they watched this bear maul one of their friends who was stuck in their sleeping bag. So that was a pretty scary thought, at 10, 11 years old. We had the camper, so we were always in the camper, but we always listened for noises. So one day we were traveling on one of these roads in the mountains where you got the river on one side and then the dry riverbed over here, and we stopped and we walked down into the riverbed, the dry riverbed, to look for rocks, because we were rock hounds, lapidary stuff. And we were looking around, we didn't really see much, and all of a sudden, after 15 minutes or something, we all hear this roar. Well, I looked up at my dad immediately, because that's what you're a kid, you look to your parents to see a cue, and my dad looked kind of scared. I'd only seen him scared one other time in my life. So I look at my mom, and she's like, "What was that?" She goes, "I don't know." So we just kept looking around and finding rocks, and then all of a sudden, whoa. Okay, so this time my mom says, "Was that a bear?" And my dad says, "I don't know, let's get the hell out of here." So the incline was pretty steep, but me and my brother were kids. He's 9, I'm like 10, 11. We were able to climb out of there like raccoons. And I remember looking down, and my mom was having trouble getting started, and my dad was a big strong guy, his hand right on her butt. He pretty much launched her up onto the street, and then he was up there real quick. So we weren't too far from where the camper was sitting on the side of the road, but we looked both ways, no cars coming, because it wasn't a busy street, and we just took off. We got in that truck, and we were cruising down the road, and my mom was like, "I don't know what the hell that was." My dad says, "Yeah, I don't know, I think it was a bear too." And right about the time he said that, I looked up on the road, and going across the street was this metal grate, because that dry riverbed, when it was full, the water would go under the street, and it was like a little mini bridge. And as we ran over that, I heard, "Vroom." Well, we all laughed pretty hard about that, and we sometimes still do.